good information you people are about to receive. It can set you apart from any realtor in the industry because you have knowledge that they don't have. There's three types of people in business today. I don't care what kind of a business it is. There's three types. There's people that watch what happens. There's people that make things happen. And there's people that sit around and scratch their head and say, gee, what happened? I'm assuming that you're here today for a reason. Okay? And the reason is you're going to have knowledge about some programs that can really help your clients. These consumer-driven programs are underutilized, and Cal Haffa just came out with a new one. We're going to create a green marketing niche. There's government-sponsored programs. There's home energy upgrade benefits. When you do energy efficient upgrades, there's not just energy savings. There's a lot of other benefits, and I'll go into that as we go along. There's a certified home energy audit required, and last but not least, by all means, utility cash incentive programs. I am honored and very happy to introduce a gentleman that's here, James Ward from the gas company. Would you stand up just a second, James?
Sure.
He's attending this because he wants to see what's going on, because Edison and the gas company have programs where people can get cash rebates up to $6,500. We're doing programs that they can do and add it right to their home. So they not only have government, they have the state program, they have cash incentives from the utility company. What we're trying to do is provide you with a marketing niche. To the left there, of course, we have the gentleman he's a realtor, and why should I go with you, Mr. Johnson? Well, I'm a nice guy, and I have a lot of experience, and I know what I'm doing, and I help my customers. Lady to the right, she's a mortgage lender. I have a lot of experience, and I help people. And the guy in the center says, yeah, I have all that too, but I tell you about programs you're entitled to. I tell you about energy programs where you can make your home energy efficient at the time of purchase. And I also tell you about cash rebates that you're entitled to and how to make your home cleaner, quieter, more comfortable while making it super energy efficient. I was at a seminar many, many years ago in Winnipeg, and being in the weatherization business, the guy said, what do you do? I said, oh, I do insulation, and I do leakage for homes and windows. He said, no, buddy, he says, you're in the people business. And I got news for you folks. If you're in the people business, you can help every one of your customers. I got somebody here today that's one of your new agents. She tells everybody about these programs. And she's even gotten referrals because of it. Because she informed them about programs that they can take advantage of. The energy efficient mortgage has been around for 21 years. Has anybody done one or know what they are? Okay, let me give you an overview. Okay, the energy efficient mortgage was started by FHA probably 21, 22 years ago. And what it is basically is people can add the cost of energy efficient upgrades to their home loan with no additional qualifying. Please make a note of that, okay? Because everybody says, oh, my customer, gee whiz, they just barely qualify. If you qualify for an FHA loan, you automatically qualify for the energy efficient mortgage. No questions asked, no additional down payment. You're allowed 5% of the appraised value to be used for energy efficient upgrades. How many of you know people that could use new windows, maybe a new furnace, maybe some insulation?
All San Bernardino.
Yeah, all San Bernardino. I've done a lot of work in San Bernardino. That's very true. Thank you. Now, here's the new one. This just happened about a month and a half ago. You're the first real estate office that I've done my 90-minute presentation for. Cal Haffa, which is CHDAP, which is the owner and the sponsor of the down payment assistance, they have a new program. It's called the Energy Plus Grant Program, the Cal EEM Plus Grant. If you're doing an energy efficient mortgage, you're allowed 5%, correct? Okay. You get another 4% from Cal Haffa for additional energy efficient upgrades, and you don't have to pay it back. It's a grant and it's free. Okay? Cal Haffa's come up with this program. They launched it about a month and a half, 2 months ago, and we're we're working with them on these programs. It's called the Cal EM Plus grant, and really, basically, low to moderate income home buyers have a guardian angel. Anybody that qualifies for CHDAP qualifies for this energy upgrade. They have to be doing a Cal HFA first mortgage. Okay? And Essex here does those. They're approved to do them. All right? Nick has already informed me. And you can do CHDAP with the free energy program also. Now, I know there's a lot to absorb here. So if you guys have any questions along the way, stop me. Okay? Because now I'm going to go over the utility cash incentives are from Energy Upgrade California, and it's up to $6,500. So on this Cal HFA FHA program, people can do the average small home. We're talking new furnace, new air conditioning, new ductwork, new windows, new sliders, attic and wall insulation. And they have a good chance of getting cash incentives from Edison and the gas company in the thousands of dollars. It's up to $6,500. We just did a reverse mortgage for a lady, and she did the reverse mortgage to do energy efficient upgrades. And she did the reverse mortgage, which is an FHA product also, and she did everything to her home, and she got a check from Edison and the gas company for $5,346. That's, how many of you own a home? How many of you have like killer electric bills? And when I say killer, we're talking 400, 500? Okay. I don't mean to smile, but mine's zero. If I had a bill of zero every month, I'm one of the few people in California that have a net zero home. I can tell you about it, I can show it to you, I can prove it to you, if you'll pay attention. Okay? People get utility bills, and you get them once a month, whether you like them or not. And the other thing is that a lot of people don't like them. Okay? I look forward to them. Edison bill, thank you. Let's see. Minus 99 cents was my last one. Just got it the other day. And somebody said, well, you don't turn your air on. My air is 70, 40. Okay? But I did everything that I thought. It's better to light a candle than curse the darkness. Some wise men have said. They said it was President Kennedy and some other people. But you know what? This is what I've found out. And you people that own a home, you're eligible for the Edison Gas Company programs also. Okay. So what I'm going to show you is how to make a home energy efficient. There's so many misconceptions out there, it's unreal. Everybody thinks windows. Oh, if I do windows, I'll get through college. This is wonderful. No, it's not windows. It's not any one thing. It's a combination of things. And it's called whole house as a system. Approximately every home goes through the same thing. 50% of your bills for gas, for heating and cooling, is 50%. Okay? So, for example, your Edison bill, it might be $100 in the winter. What is it in the summer? 300, 400. Okay, well, that's not because you turned your computer on more. It's not because your microwave isn't working properly. It's because you turned on that air conditioner. Okay? Gas bill that comes in the winter. It's no longer $40, $50, is it? It's $140, $150. Why? Well, you're trying to heat your home. The ideal situation for everyone, whether you're purchasing a home or you live in a home, is to make your home like a thermostat. Stop as much heat from entering in the summer and leaving in the winter as possible. Because guess what? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. If your house is not getting much heat entering on that 95-degree day, you're not running your air that much, are you? Okay. Let's start out with what happens in a home. The number one is the attic. Okay. Attic penetrations on these programs. Number one, you have to go around and you have to seal all the penetrations. Little leaks that you think, oh, what's the big deal? You add all those little leaks up, you got a big hole coming out of your ceiling. You get dirt, you get dust, you get filth, and you lose heat and you gain heat. Okay? So, first step is to seal all attic penetrations. The next step, that's how you do it. There's all kinds of caulking foams and different ways, in different areas where wires run, where registers run, everything. These are the kind of things that you have to do to make a home energy efficient and cleaner. The next step is to concentrate on the attic insulation. I have been in over probably 2,000 homes myself. I've been doing this for 32 years. Way too long, by the way. And I've had so many people tell me, oh, my attic's fine. It's just fine. Well, do you mind if I check it, man? Because you did call me out here to take a look at your house. And I go up there and I see this. I see a couple of inches, which is like wearing a t-shirt in Alaska. Okay? It's not, I said, oh, there's plenty of inches. No, there's not. It's not even close. I said, you have an R5. You need to go to an R38. R38 is where everybody should be. R means resistance to heat, and the more insulation you have, and the higher the R value, the more resistance to heat entering in the summer and leaving in the winter. You do that by attic insulation. You can see the process, and then your attic looks like that. You don't see wood anymore. You don't see joists. That's an R38. Now, the heat still comes through the roof, but it doesn't get in the house because it's trapped. That's what insulation does. Remember thermos bottle? You pour hot coffee in a thermos bottle. You have hot at 6 in the morning. You have hot coffee at 12. Why? It's because the heat didn't enter. A cold drink, same thing. The heat didn't enter. That's what you want to do. That's step one. Step two is wall insulation. A lot of homes built prior to 1979, there's no wall insulation because that's when the energy code took place in California. So the walls are empty. So you insulate the walls to an R13. Now you have attic and wall insulation and the leakage that is sealed in the attic. And that represents about 50% of heat gain and heat loss in a home. We use cellulose fiber, which is recycled newspaper, that's impregnated with borate. Borate's the stuff they dump on forest fires. Okay? It's highly fire retardant. I want to tell you a quick story. I insulated a lady's home about 20 years ago. It was an elderly couple because her husband was on an oxygen. Okay? And she called me up 6 months after we put an R38 in her attic. She said, Mr. Hall, she says, we need to insulate the attic again. I said, what? I said, we insulated a few months ago. I remember the lady. And she says, no, you don't understand. You saved our lives. I know I do a good job. Right? She says, no, she says, one of the kids threw a firecracker on the 4th of July. Our roof caught on fire. And the embers that were burning and they were red hot were falling into the insulation, but they never got in the home. And finally, somebody noticed that our house was on fire. The fire chief told her, you better call that insulation guy and thank him, because without that insulation, you wouldn't be here. Now, here's what you have. You have, okay, we've gone over the insulation in the attic that needs to be done. Now we're going into windows. Quality custom-made windows, triple coated. We use argon gas. And of course, how many of you run into homes where windows are broken? Huh? Guess what? Eureka! I mean, what am I making? You like that home in that area, or you want to, you can only afford this area and you got broken windows? You got the front, they're stealing furnaces and air conditioners now, correct? Well, now you got a solution to a problem. You're the one that stands out. You got broken windows. These are how the new windows. These are the argon gas. They're beautiful windows, by the way, and they work. Sliders. New sliders are installed. One of the nicest things about windows is it not only stops radiant heat, okay, but if they're sealed properly when they're installed from the inside and the outside frame, you got a lot of leakage that no longer enters. So you got a sealed area, like maybe 9, 10 windows, plus you got the radiation that's stopping it. And who installs and the quality of work is very important on these programs. Because we have to pass FHA standards, and we pass all the time. Another good thing about the windows, on older homes, they don't open properly. To be honest with you, most of the older homes, the windows were put in the 60s, 70s. Okay, they were junk to start with. They just got junkier over the years. They're hard to open. There's new locking devices on the new windows, and they slide like you wouldn't believe. They add curb appeal, obviously, to every home. Now here's what you have: attic and wall insulation 50%, leakage 25%, windows and sliders another 25%, and you have a thermally controlled home. And it has to be the combination. How many of you have had windows put in your home? When you had that done, did you have the ducts tested? Did you have the insulation levels checked? No, but the window guy told you that'll do everything, correct? Yeah, I've heard window guys say, yeah, that's all you need. You put in your windows, it's everything. That's like having 4 holes in your boat fixing one. All right? That's exactly what it is. If I had to do anything to a home, one thing, the most cost-effective thing you can do in a home is your duct distribution system. The U.S. Department of Energy estimates now $15 to $20 billion is wasted. Okay, the leakage in your ductwork is far more important than any energy conservation. If you have a car that gets 40 miles a gallon, and you walk out to go to work, and you see a puddle of gasoline, you say, "Oh my God, no wonder I'm only getting 10, 12 miles a gallon. Gee whiz, I got to get that fixed right away." Well, your ducts are the same thing. I've seen ducts that leak as much as 90%. 90% of the heated and cooled air is going in the attic. It's not even getting to no rooms. Sandra knows that for a fact because we went out and looked at her home.
Yes.
And, well, I'll show you what happened. We have a picture for everything. And it actually applies to her. Are there any questions to this point? Okay. Your duct distribution system obviously sends the cold air or the heated air to the rooms, correct? Okay. When you have leakage because of pressure, you have 2 problems. Number 1, your energy is leaking, the cold air is leaving, and you're trying to cool your home. And it's sucking in attic filth at the same time and redistributes it throughout the home. If any of you have been in a home where you see black registers, where the registers are real dirty and filthy and things like that, that's the ductwork. The biggest problem for indoor air quality is ductwork. Okay? And most ducts for older homes, once again, like the windows, they were crap when they put them in. They weren't that good. Okay, they put in the cheapest that they had to, and they're like 20 years old, 30 years old. They're terrible. This is what we found in Lysandra's home, although this isn't her slide. Okay? This is what happens to ductwork. A lot of times it's not put in properly, or it's just not good ductwork. It starts to separate, so you're heating and cooling your attic, is what's going on. And then there's the cable guy that goes up there. He goes into there, and he falls down, and he smashes 3 or 4 of your ducts. Now, does he come out of that attic and say, "Gee, I want you to know that I just smashed your ducts up there"? No, he doesn't tell anybody. You don't know. All of a sudden, you're not getting heated and cooled air to your rooms. You have no idea what happened. That happens all the time. And it's exactly what happened to Lysandra. It was completely smashed. We had to change out part of her ductwork because the run that leads to the other ducts, it was smashed right in the middle. Her upstairs was getting no heating in. This is what we run into all the time. This is a 22-year-old duct that was taken out. You can see how filthy it is, and that's a register. That's not Lysandra's register. Indoor air quality, the biggest for bad indoor air quality is attributed to bad ducting. So you have to picture that. You have to picture that leaks go out. And by the way, this deal about cleaning your ducts, it causes more leakage almost all the time. If you have leaks in your ductwork, they put a pressure through to try to get dirt out. They create bigger leaks a lot of times. If you have tight ducts and new ducts, you don't need ever to have them cleaned because there's nothing getting in them. Yes.
So what's the standard amount of time that they should be replaced?
You know, that's a darn good question, but I want to answer that. We test ducts all the time. There's a machine I'll show you in a second. They test the ductwork. Okay? I don't know because we've tested, like I got a contract years ago and I tested like 100 new homes, 50 of them failed. They were brand new. So imagine the older ones that are like 20 years old or 30 years old. It's hard to tell. Sometimes they're just slapped in there. They're not put in properly. They're not sealed properly. And they leak the time the guy sells the home. It's a shame, but it's also a reality. So this is what it looks like when you have new ducts. You know, nice and clean, they're sealed properly, everything is done properly. And when you have sealed ducts, that lady I told you about that we just did a reverse mortgage, her ducts leaked 62%. We took them down to 3. She got brand new ducts. She's got so much cold air now she can hang meat in there if she wants. Often, the only thing that's really proper to do when the ducts are bad is to replace them. Because the newer ones are much more efficient. They're higher R values. They're much better. To try to take old ducts and seal them, you might see a few leaks here, a few leaks there, and you seal them, and a year later the other end breaks. So it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. There's diagnostic duct testing on these programs, and they can tell you exactly how much your ducts leak. Now remember, I don't care how high efficient your furnace and air conditioner is. If the ducts leak like 30, 40, 50%, that's 30, 40, 50% less efficient your air conditioner is. And HVAC contractors, they're a funny breed. A lot of them don't want to test ducts. They're supposed to, but they don't want to do it. They said, I looked at the ducts, they're just fine. That's like going to the doctor and saying, I'm not feeling good. Oh, I can tell exactly what's wrong with you. What? Don't you want to run some tests here? Professionals test the rest of us. Remember I was telling you it's better to live in the attic when your heated and cool air is all going in the attic? That was my girlfriend's idea, and my computer guy put that together. And of course, we had to throw in the rat. But when your ducts leak so bad, you probably could go up into your attic and see this nice and cool. And your house is roasting.
So once you do them, okay, let's just say, how often do you think we should call you to come and look them over?
Probably never.
Never? Okay.
Probably never. No, when you've got good sturdy ducts and they're sealed properly, so we use a mastic. It's painted on the joints and it hardens like a hard rubber. Okay. There's an old joke that when you do ducts properly, and you have an earthquake and your house fell apart, your ducts are still standing. So, no, it never needs to be done. You do need to change your filters and things like that, but more likely never. Now we're going to get to the heating and air conditioning conditions, furnaces and air conditioners. Okay, that's another part of a home being efficient. And I always equate that to the cars. You got an older car, you got a car that's old, I don't know, 20 years old. It used to get 15 miles a gallon, now it's only getting 10. Well, it's estimated in California that 50% of the furnaces and air conditioners are operating at less than 50% efficient. And I'll define efficiency for you real briefly. Okay, efficiency is for every dollar you spend, what are you getting for it? Nothing is 100%. But if you're spending $1 to heat your home or cool your home, are you getting 80%? Are you getting 80 cents on the dollar? Are you getting 70 cents? Or are you getting 30 cents? A lot of people are getting 30 and 40 cents on the dollar. Your heating and air conditioner has to work that much harder, okay, to keep up, especially if your ducts are bad and you have old windows, no, you don't have proper amounts of insulation. Heat's coming in as fast as you can cool it up. And then you got an air conditioner guy comes out and says, you know what? I know the problem. You need get rid of that 3-ton. Let's put in a 4-ton for you. That's like having 18 holes in your boat. Somebody tells you buy a bigger bilge pump. What for? How about fixing the leaks? How about making my home efficient? Efficiency. That's what you get.
Ray, you're hitting on a really important issue when it comes to contractors. Do you have any recommendations for the homeowner or for the real estate professionals on how they can identify a high quality contractor?
Well, I use BPI certified, which I'm going to get into. The Building Performance Institute certified contractors are the only ones that get the rebates. They have to go through classes, they have to demonstrate they know how to test homes, and that's what that's all about, okay? Otherwise, you don't get the rebates, and you probably won't get the quality that you want. You know? And I have a list of all of them, that's all I use. You know? Efficiency for SEER, James, did that answer your question okay?
It did, yeah, I thought it was worth noting.
Seasonal energy efficiency ratio, and for furnaces, annual fuel utilization efficiency. And then for water heaters, there's ratings, different ratings for water heaters. And there's tankless water heaters. The only problem with tankless water heaters, they are efficient, but they're a nightmare when it comes to maintenance. Okay? And it's just a fact. You have to clean them thoroughly every year. You have to run vinegar through them, and a lot of people just don't want to mess with them. Any questions at this point? Boy, I must be doing a good job. Wow. Yeah.
You are.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Turbines? Well, turbines help cool off your attic because it sucks some of the heat out when they're moving. You know, so turbines are okay. But if you put turbines in your home and you don't do anything else, whole house fans are a good thing to have. Whole house fans. But turbines, I have them on my house. You know, and it's just when they're spinning, they're actually, if you stood over them, it would feel like an oven. Okay, and they do help. Okay, but if you think, I had one guy. I've had every story in the world. I've had every customer in the world. I had one guy had 10 turbines on his roof. I said, I swear to God, on a wind, it's going to take your roof right off. I told the guy, I said, you got to be kidding me. And he goes, no, I just figured that if I did that, I wouldn't need insulation. Jesus, I couldn't believe it. Anyway, he ended up insulating his house, and he was very happy. Renewables, they're going to be on this program also. I have a good joke to tell you, if you want to hear it.
Yes.
Okay, there's these two young men that were on a research. They were being researched, and the one kid was an optimist, and the other was a pessimist. So this research committee, they took the one kid that was a pessimist, and they put him in a room with thousands of toys, tons of toys all over the place. They said, "We're going to lock you in here for 2 hours. We're going to lock the door, do whatever you want to do." Took the next kid, which is the optimist, and they put him in a room, and it was full of horse manure and a shovel. They said, "We're going to lock you in here for 2 hours. We'll come back next week." So they come back in 2 hours, they unlock the door, and they got the pessimist, and he's sitting in a corner with his legs crossed. He said, "Well, you didn't play with one toy." He said, what's going on? You in here 2 hours, you didn't play with no toys." He said, "No," I said, "I got it figured out." He said, "I'd start playing with some toys, he'd come in and make me stop, take them away." So, okay. So they went to the next one. They opened the door, and manure's flying everywhere. And the kid is shoveling like you wouldn't believe. He's sweating. They said, "Hey, slow down." He goes, "I don't have time." He said, "No, you stop for a second. What are you doing?" He says, "With all this horse manure, there's got to be a pony somewhere." That's what this is about. The renewables always do the insulation, the leakage, the ductwork, the heating and air first. And then after that, you can look into solar photovoltaics producing electricity. Reduce before you produce. Okay? Anybody have solar? I have solar also, but I also have everything else that's on here. And that's why I have zero. And solar is a great thing. Okay? But on the Edison and gas company programs, you don't get the cash rebates for solar. Okay? So you get it for the other measures.
Well, just to clarify, for Energy OK California, it's an energy efficiency program. So it doesn't, there's cross-subsidy issues, so you get incentivized for energy efficiency. But then there are other programs, there's a program, CSI, California Solar Initiative, where there are rebates for.
Yeah, it's like $500.
I don't know the.
$14, $13. You know, but my Edison bill is zero. Zero every month. Oh, there's a good looking guy. And that's my bill. That's my Edison bill for the last 12 months. Now, to get the ball rolling on these programs, you have to have a certified energy audit. That's where they come in and they test the ducts, they check everything in the home. The water heating, the furnace, the air conditioner, the model numbers, everything for efficiency is checked on these programs. Whether it's just a regular home that you live in or it's somebody buying a home. The audit is $3.99, and CAR for home buyers will issue a rebate of $250. California Association of Realtors, Sandra knows that because her last 3 customers all got the $250. They check the insulation levels. Everything in the home is checked for efficiency. It's all placed into a computer, and it spits out what the home needs, what it'll do, and that's what you base what people can do on these programs. On the energy efficient mortgage program, the savings has to exceed the add-on payment. It has to. Okay? If you're going to spend $40 more a month, the audit has to say that the improvements that you just signed up for will reduce your energy cost by 41 or more. That way, the homeowner has no burden on their home loan. Now, with Cal HFA's program, where they can do double the improvements almost, now you're talking add 40, save 90. And you have a cleaner, quieter, more comfortable home. Any questions about these government programs? Yes?
Can you get these programs after you close escrow, or does it have to be concurrent with escrow?
It's added onto your home loan. It's a time of sale. It's a time of sale. The audit gets ordered right away. The customer says, I want this, this, and this for my home. And then it gets added onto their home loan. The money is put in escrow until the job is done once they're in the home. It holds up no commission whatsoever for the realtor. Not one iota. Okay? And then you get your commission, the people get in the home, and then the work is done when they're in the home. And that's kind of good in a way because the people, a lot of times they can't have the work done for maybe a couple weeks. And they already know their home's terrible. They go, oh, it's hot. And when we come in, we're done. They go, oh, it's wonderful. Oh, thank you very much. And I get Christmas cards and all kinds of stuff. She gets invited to the housewarming. Sandra gets invited to the housewarming, and she goes to the housewarming. Well, what, Montgomery?
Yes.
And all they talked about was the new windows. All they talked about was the new windows. You will have happy customers. You can use this as a marketing engine. The Cal HAFA program, plus an energy efficient mortgage, plus rebates. I mean, there's so many things that you can do for people. You know, if you're in the people business, rebates, everything, tax credits, and then the role of facilitator is what I do. Been doing it for many, many years. I've done over 1,000 energy efficient mortgages. I've appeared on David Horowitz. He did a whole special on my company and things like that. I've been in the newspaper like 40 times. If you guys want to get in the newspaper, do a news release that you're helping people, I'll help you with it. I'll be glad to help you with it. Satisfied customers, referrals. She got a referral for doing the energy efficient mortgage. You know why? Because it seems like she's one of the only ones doing the energy efficient mortgage. So she already got a deal. You got a deal. A client doing that. Now remember I told you I want you to stand out? Okay, with this knowledge that you have now, you stand out a lot bigger. Okay? Because you're doing something for people that nobody else is doing. I'm sorry to say this, but the real estate industry has yet to really embrace doing these programs. Now, let's all be friends for just 1 second. Okay? You're all buying a home. Forget you're a realtor, lender, whatever you are. Okay? You're buying a home. It's an older home. Would you want to know about these programs? So will your customers. Every one of them wants to know. And if they find out and it's too late, that's not good. That's not good. Yes?
What type of warranties are attached to these?
The equipment's like 5 to 10 years. As far as The duct work is lifetime. The insulation is lifetime.
For repair.
Yeah. Windows are like 25 to 30 years, you know. And I've yet to go back on anybody. You know, they're pretty happy. You know. But that's a good question. Appreciate that. Yeah.
How long does it take to pay it off?
You're talking about for a home buyer? There's no payback. They have a positive cash flow immediately. Remember, they're saving more than the add-on payment. They didn't put anything out of their pocket. So if they want $10,000 worth of work and they add $45 to their house payment and they're saving $50, they're already to the good. Okay, there is no payback. You start making money as soon as you get your payment, your mortgage payment, because utility bills are not going down. I mean, is anybody here that thinks that? Because boy, I can sell you a whole ton of stuff. Okay, utility bills are not going down; they're only going up. And I'm sorry, but that's a reality that's happened over the years. And so if you're saving $50 this year, you might be saving $60 the next year. But remember, you've insulated the home, you've got the ducts, you have a cleaner, quieter, more comfortable home. Nobody asked me how come the home's quieter. If you stop heat from entering in the summer, guess what else you stop? Noise. Noise travels the same avenue as heat does. So if I've stopped 80% of your heat from coming in, I've stopped 80% of the noise outside the home. I've had people do their homes just regular homeowners, just for the noise. I was on David Horowitz. I was in 50 newspapers in Southern California over a 20-year period. And I'll be glad to help anybody that wants to advertise this and get their name out there as a person that's doing something that nobody else is doing. I won an award from the Secretary of HUD, probably about 15 years ago. That's Andrew Cuomo. He was the Secretary of HUD. He's now the Governor of New York. Okay? So I'm very proud of what I do, but I can't do anything without you people. You people are the key that starts the engine. You know? And I've had, lately with this new Cal HFA program, I've had some guys come up with some really good ideas. I mean, for marketing. You know? I mean, it's nice to tell somebody you get some free stuff. The state's got the program. It's nice to say, oh, congratulations, you got $8,000 worth of free energy upgrades. Oh, and then it'll probably take about 3 weeks, 4 weeks before you get your check from Edison and the gas company with their program. People aren't going to like you for that. I mean, like you, heck, they're going to love you.
Really,
So-
I think you're painting a really good picture. I think for the opportunity that's available for the realtors. Maybe can you share with us why real estate professionals hesitate in offering these programs?
From what I've heard, okay, I run in. Let me finish just this one segment, and then I'll get into what you're saying. But here's what you're doing for people. The guy is looking at his utility bill. He's got a smile on his face. Remember those people before that were a little bit outraged? You got better indoor air quality. You have a more comfortable home, and you have a quieter home. And by the way, doing this for a home buyer, is there anything wrong with that? My God, what you've done for somebody. All you did was tell them about a program that has been written for them, entitled to them. Here's what I've run into. I've run into this. Okay? That's what I've run into. I run into Skeptical Sally, Downer Dave. I've had people that got excited about this program, went back to their office, and Downer Dave said, you know, if you do that, it's going to kill your deal. If you do that, it'll hold up your commission. It doesn't do any of that. Okay? But the perception is that it's one more thing to do. You know, James, I hope that helps answer your question. But there's negatives out there. There's negative vibes, you know, about, gee, if we do one more thing, this will do this. You know, I can see where it might help make your deal. Where people say, hey, I can show you how to get new windows for practically nothing. I can show you how to do this with this program. You know, anybody that qualifies for CHDAP qualifies for this program. Okay? And a lot of people use CHDAP, correct? down payment assistance. But this is what happens, and it's a shame because it doesn't hold up your commission. It doesn't kill a deal. Okay? I mean, we just had everybody raise their hand if they were buying a home, they'd want to know about this. Well, what about the regular person on the street who's buying a home? Of course they'd want to know about it. It's a one-shot deal. If you tell them about it later on, and they're in the home, it's too late. It's added onto their home loan. We have a certificate. Are there any questions at all?
Do you have suggestions for the folks here? I'm trying to throw you some softballs, but do you have any suggestions?
Go right ahead. I'm ready. Oh, my bat's a little small.
Yeah, it's a big ball. Do you have any suggestions for these realtors to stay educated? Because there's a influx of information that's going on all the time. The utilities, as an example, are always looking for opportunities to get their message across through trusted messengers, and it's proven unsuccessful for the most part. Do you have any suggestions for these folks here where they can help to stay educated and abreast of the different opportunities?
Well, first of all, I'm at anybody's disposal. Okay, I don't need to do this. I retired 7 years ago when I came out of retirement. Some of these people around, but I love doing this because I love seeing what happens. I mean, I make money and I won't apologize for that. But I can tell you something right now. When somebody calls you up and says, "Thank you very much, Mary, because we can't believe our home. It is so quiet. It's so wonderful. Our bills are low. Our neighbors is high. Ours are low, and we got a nice refund check from the utility company. Thank you very much for helping us out." That's worth it right there. That's worth it right there. Okay? And it doesn't do the negative things. But if you have ideas, you want to talk to me about them, fine, I'll work with you. I'll help you with the news release. I'll help you with an ad. You know, I'm working on all that all the time. You know, anything to separate yourself from the average guy. Okay? Anything. Let's say you're doing an open house. Now, aren't there people that come to an open house that haven't bought a home yet? They don't even have a realtor. Well, how about you give them one of these pieces of information that I gave you? Okay, I can email it to you and have them printed. You can say, "Oh, you haven't bought a home yet? Well, I just want to give you some information. Put your own name on it. That's fine. Here's some information. Here's some information about some new programs through the state agency that's going to help people get free energy upgrades and make your home efficient." What? I've been interviewing realtors. None of them told me about that. Well, guess what? You just did. Okay? You want to separate yourself. Otherwise, I mean, I don't know how. I know you're all good agents. I know you work hard. Your industry's tough. I believe that this could make it a little easier. Okay? There's things out there that people can, and I'll never forget you. Lysandra, I'd like just to take a second. Lysandra does these all the time. And if you don't mind standing up, I know I kind of impose on you. But I pay her to do this. Hold on a second. There we go. She believes in this. She's done it for years, and she hasn't had one negative feedback. And my last 4 energy efficient mortgages were done with Lysandra. And I'll let her say a couple words.
Well, my last 3 deals I've closed with the programs. All my clients are super excited, super happy. Got tons of referrals because of that. Like he said, the second client, I did the housewarming party myself. I had 40 people. 40 people got my card with the energy efficient stuff. And there are people calling me. How do I get new windows? How do I get it all? So I'm qualifying. I have 15 buyers qualified right now, and I can't find a home that needs it because they it ranges all the way from 150 to 350. They're ready to go, but they want it all. That's why I'm here. It's an opportunity for everything out there. I sit with my clients and I tell them, okay, if I give you $10,000 right now cash on the table, what would you do with it? Oh, I'll go on vacation. Yes. But if I give you $10,000 and that's to use for your home right now, and you don't have to you make $40 payments in your mortgage, You don't even know that you're making a payment because you're just taking your mortgage payment. It's not even a separate payment. It's just in within your mortgage, and you are enjoying and saving money every month. And now with the added 4% on the Alfalfa, it has made it way better. This house is in San Bernardino. The ACs have been stolen. The heater has been stolen. They have the wall units. Change that wall unit for something else. There are many options for us as realtors to use this program and be selling this program, be selling houses much more faster. My client was qualified for $200,000. I found a house for $187,000, and she's like, "Oh, but it needs windows, it needs paint, it needs this." And no worries. Okay. The next thing you know, 30 days later, we close. 2 weeks later, she had brand new windows. Her husband had painted the house. She got brand new ducts, brand new insulation, and the house is 1957. It doesn't even look like it's a 1957 home. So you just have to, like, you know what? Give it all. We are here. We're to stand. We're to say, hey, we're different. We have something else for you. We are creating a client for life. My clients call me every week. I get text messages. "Oh my God, it was so hot, and I just remember you because my AC was working perfect. My windows are wonderful. You just get a little note, and they will always remember you because of that. So use the program. I have had a lot of success with it. A lot of agents out there, they are a little bit negative. "Oh, I'm telling my client to add more money to their loan." You're not adding more money to your loan. You're adding savings to your loan. Sell it. It's not hard to sell. It's for you and for your business forever.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it. Anybody can call me and say, "Hey, Ray, I got an idea. I got this." If you're in a local area, for example, let's say you're doing a home in Rialto. Doesn't Rialto have a little newspaper? Okay, well, why not let them know what you're doing? Why not say, "Hey, this client took advantage of this," and I mean, that's what I did. And I got on TV, and I got all kinds of stuff for free. Okay, I mean, I did movie stars' homes. I did all kinds of stuff over the years. But you got to work it. You got to work it, and it's not easy at first to understand. But if you call me up and say, "Ray, now I want to go over something. Tell me this. Tell me that." I'll be glad to help. Okay, that's the least I can do. Okay, and so anyway, I sure appreciate your time. A great audience, by the way. Thank you very much.